able to remember this again in your exam. What are these cells? Anong blue man na siya? Anong blue man ka? Sige, sige pa. What do you see? Okay, so this is your cardiac muscle, your viable cardiac muscle, and you will see this pinkish structureless area. So comparing this area to this one, what is this? Open your manuals. What is this light? Your manual says Laju nag-abrig manual. Study mo surgery. Sige na, study. Let's study together for this. It is just 6 slides lang, 6 slides. So I want you to remember these pink structureless areas in this line. And these are your viable myocytes. And you can see around these pink structureless areas would be your atrophic myocytes. So what is this? Everything that I said is written in the manual. So what is this? Hulaan nyo. Interactive daw ni Be. I don't want to be the one just talking here. I want you to participate so that it would be easier for you to remember kung nag-participate mo. So what is this? And what is the special stain used to view the particular substance that is? Yun! So what is this? Okay, so what particular layer of the heart is this? So if you're given this slide, can you be able to identify this in the practical exam?
Maybe not.
Ah! Kasi dapat tandaan. What are the things to remember in this slide? You'll see the viable myocytes in this area. And in between, you will see pinkish structureless areas also. Surrounding this, you will see atrophic myocytes. So siguro on higher magnification, we will try to appreciate the atrophic myocytes. So when you say it's atrophic, it should be smaller than the usual. However, it is difficult to identify the atrophic myocytes. Or maybe this few scattered strands here of your smooth muscles, cardiac muscles. So that will be your atrophic myocardium. Okay? So this is your amyloidosis. Organ, heart, what particular, or if I ask for the specific specific part or specific layer of the heart, myocardial. Special stain used to identify the presence of what substance? So, what is this? What is this? Yun. Yun. Correct. Correct. What your manual says about this slide? It is best to identify or give the diagnosis of this disease entity by gross or by microscopic. Okay, were you able to see a gross picture of how a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy looks like? Kita na mo? So, if ever I will put a picture of a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in the exam, would you be able to identify it? Manaylain. Okay? Or if ipa-identify ta mo sa iyahang normal, na ako i-post na normal, na ako i-post na what? Kaila mo? Syempre, when you say hypertrophic, enlarge.
Pero in reference to a point. Kung in reference to another.
Syempre, I have to compare it with the normal. So, klaro man na. You will be able to identify what is normal from the abnormal. So, you should be able to identify which one is the hypertrophic heart. Right? Kasi it is difficult to identify the hypertrophic myofibers here. Unless lang kung ganahan mo mangita og mga enlarged muscle fibers. But it is really difficult to find it here. Maybe ganahan ta mag-isa-isa, itatagdag ko. So syempre, you will see it larger than the usual sizes of your myofibers here, cardiac fibers. So, di nata mangita na. Okay, so can you differentiate it from myoma? Myoma? Can you identify or differentiate how a smooth muscle differs from a cardiac muscle? You should be able to know that. So please try to appreciate that in your slides, okay? Kasi yung location ng nucleus, pero syempre it would be different here kasi depende yun sa orientation ng cut ng tissue. Okay, so this is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. You see fibers, cardiac muscle fibers, which are supposed to be enlarged, but it is difficult to appreciate it microscopically. So it is better seen roughly. I think you have seen this already in your previous slides. Wait. Can you remember this slide? Actually, pink na siya ha. Nung din mo siya pink. Pangit lagi ay. Kasi nalagay yung sambo. Lagi. Ang daw. I-try na daw. Ang daw. Wala siya. Kanang. Ito. Sige daw. Pangbo. Ay, pang-zoom. Pang-zoom man lang siya. Name mo. Ano ba siya ginapinili ko? May mode. Mode?
Ito, meron dito. Parang...
Hindi siya sandan.
Parang
Pang-bar? Okay. Okay. Kani? PWD. Sige, try daw din yung pipikuan din ako. Sorry, pakita niyo. Ay! Wala ko na pindot.
Pindot at bumalik.
Ayun. Dili ka na.
Ayun!
It's pink.
Okay.
Asa? Except lang siya. Magic.
Last 3
Ayan.
round, kaya napalong.
Can you identify this?
Fibrinous.
Yun. So, what's the slide with a fibrinous something? With fibrinous pericarditis. Okay, so you will see this fibrin part. And what's the other term point to this disease entity? Have you heard of bread and butter pericarditis?
Yes. Parang sandwich.
So can you imagine that bread and butter pericarditis?
Strap niya.
Kita mo ka tong bread, pagbutan mo butter, tapos anaon mo siya. So, mo daw to siya. Murag itsura niya. Kaya siya, that's why it's called bread and butter pericarditis. So, this is your pericardium. There, and this is the fibrinous part. All pink with scattered inflammatory cells. So, what type of inflammatory cells would you see? So these are your scattered inflammatory cells, particularly. Nalay ko yung nadungog nito bago lymphocytes. Di ba acute man ni siya? So going back to the basics. Acute inflammation, basically you will see neutrophils. If it's chronic, you will see most likely lymphocytes, predominantly lymphocytes. So this is acute fibrinous pericarditis, also known or parang may term siya tinatawag na bread and butter pericarditis. So kailan na mo na niya ha? Specimen, tissue, lung. Okay. So what do you see in this lung tissue? You would see lots of hemosiderin-laden macrophages inside your alveoli, and you would also notice the lung is congested. And it is also written in the manual that you will see your interstitium is thickened but not fibrotic. Okay, so asa man yung interstitium dia? Asa yung interstitium dia? So your interstitium is the Please read on it. Where is your interstitium? Thickened but not fibrotic. So those are the in between your alveoli. thickened siya but not fibrothickened. You'll also see scattered inflammatory cells. So what type of inflammation or inflammatory cells you will see?
Macrophages.
What else?
Mucus.
Kasi
Chronic.
chronic siya. So you should not be able to miss those side questions in the exam. Sayo na dyan na siya, ha? I will make it easy for you, so I hope you would get the practical exam for this topic with a perfect score. Kasi gamay lang man siya.
Ayun mo lang side question.
Sayo naman. The basic, ganun. So may makalibog. What is this?
Yung parang anong pagtanong mo?
Lo, basic lang gani yun. What is this? Good. Galing. So, what are the typical histologic features of your myxoma, cardiac myxoma? What do you see? What type of cells? What is describe the stroma? So this is the mass starting from here up to there. And your normal tissue is here. Okay? This one. Your heart muscles. So as you can see, it is different from here and this part here. So this is your mass. So this is your myxoma composed of your loose myxoid stroma, which is hypocellular as compared to this one. Okay? And you will see scattered spindle-shaped cells with scant pink cytoplasm. Wala ba dito pointer, no? May po ka wala ka pagawa sa pointer. Okay. Kini. So, ano na siya? So, those are your myxoma cells.
Myxoma cells.
Key. So, if you're given this slide, would you be able to identify this as cardiac myxoma?
Yeah.
Key. And then the last slide for today would be this one. I have
Bulag-bulag ang tanong. Meron lang pa.
Ako, hindi ko siya maingo sa akong isa pa ko.
Bacterial endocarditis.
Ako.
It's big.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your endocardium. Endocardium is the innermost layer from the word endo. Okay. Innermost layer of the heart. So this one with a portion of your valvular leaflet. And you will see this. Kaso na to. How is it described in the manual? You will see what? So this part is the valvular leaflet. Okay? Pwede pa rin siya mag-zoom
Isa pang zoom.
in, zoom out.
Ay, dili.
Dili na, no? Muna ni siya pinakagawa.
Normal.
Okay. So this is the valvular area. And what are those dark pink to violet structures? Ano sinabi ng manual? Ilagay mo nag-open ng manual. Ang saan ninyo pagkatimaan? How do you study ba GenPath? Nice. So your manual says presence of your bacterial plaque described as mga violet diha, dark pink to violet areas with scattered yan.
Bacteria.
Okay. So, can you identify this slide? Okay. Inflammatory cells. Right? So, I have no slide for constrictive pericarditis kasi wala kang nakita doon. The slide boxes. Siguro ginamit na iba. And for the MI, I would like you to study MI. The slides for MI kasi we have to parang dating natin ng MI. The acute, the healed, and yung may mga hours siya. So, I want you to study that. Kasi, I don't want you to be just parang solely dependent on us for your GenPath kasi it's more fun in the Philippines. It's more fun to learn when you do it by yourself also. Aside from, parang complementary na lang yun sa amin. So, you should view the slides as often as you can kasi it's just a matter of parang familiarization of what you see. Kasi kahit kami, ilang beses na namin nakita yung slide, minsan nalilimutan pa din namin. How much more kayo? So, if you just view the slide once, twice, thrice, tendency is you might forget it in the practical exam given the time pressure. Okay, so please try as much as possible, try to view the slides again and again so that you would be familiar with the slides. And the next time you see it, okay, this one, ano siya. Okay, and try to read the description in the manual and correlate it with your lecture topics. Okay? So that's how to study GenPath para mas matandaan nyo siya. Familiarization and try to recall the lecture as what is being discussed in the lecture and correlate it with what you see in the microscope. Okay? So next meeting I would give a quiz on this and
Hello, 6 lang lang.
So as much as possible we would give it parang pakonte-konte, hoping you would get a perfect score on the quizzes. Kasi kahit pa paano it would help. Okay?
Written or
Moving. Side question. Identification side question. So sana makabawi kayo. Mahirap ba kay doktora? Mahirap ba?